boxing that's bad. A lot of these guys today aren't being taught how to fight in a professional manner. What they do best, these coaches, so-called teachers, let them do that, but they don't teach them how to do more than what they already know. So when they get in big fights, they're limited on what they can do. I think Broner's a good fighter, but unless he's taught how to fight as a professional and taught more things, he'll be in the same rut and the same position that he's in. I believe they made Madonna expose him a lot. So if he can't improve off that loss and make himself a better fighter, he'll be stuck where he's at. And he's pretty good at building his own advertising guy, and he does real good at that. But he'll be no more than what he is if he doesn't get more teaching and become a better fighter than what he is today.
I have 2 questions. I'm curious what you're going to bring to Bryant Jennings' game that you just dropped that tidbit, because I saw how much you improved Chris Algieri.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, when you think of that without giving away too much, what do you think that you're going to add to Bryant Jennings' repertoire?
I think I'm going to have more aggression, but in a smarter fashion. He has to be able to be aggressive, but he has to be able to break these guys down and get inside and fight the way that he's capable of doing. He can also box. It's just that sometimes he's too flighty when he's trying to, he's in a position to jab you and hit you. He wants to take off and box you. Good fighter, but like I said, the problem with boxing today is a lot of these guys aren't being taught how to fight in a professional manner because a lot of these so-called trainers can't teach. So if you can't teach me, then I'm lost. And I'm going to do what I do best, and you're going to let me do that and try to take the credit for that. So, Brian, there's a lot of things that I've seen with this fight with Klitschko and prior fights that need to be worked on. And if he allows me to do what I'm capable of doing, and he said he would, then I think you'll see an all-around better fighter in his next couple fights. He's going to fight in October, so, we'll see.
Okay. And my very last question is, I find you very interesting because when you break things down, you break it down so I understand you understand it, and that's why I like that you say you're an educator, you're not just a coach.
Yes.
And with the Chris Algieri fight, did you feel redeemed? Because I felt like a lot of people felt like you were just talking the game, but then when the fight happened, everyone goes, oh my God, you really did see something.
Yeah, well, I try not to give too much away with that fight prior to it, and, a lot of these guys, you see, they get all the credit. They give, listen, they give a lot of guys credit, and I'll give you a case in point. When this fight was announced, I didn't really watch Amir. I watched Virgil. I watched what he did as a so-called teacher of boxing. He did so many things wrong as a teacher, showing this guy his footage was wrong. The way his stance was wrong. I'm not gonna share. Listen, right now, but I watched him. He wasn't doing things correctly. So if you can't do it correctly, and you're supposed to be a teacher, how can you teach a student how to do it correctly? That's when I knew I had the upper hand. I said, this guy, he's not on my level. And if I'm gonna show you something, I'm gonna show you correctly. If I can't do it correctly, I won't do it at all. And I've been blessed to be one of the greatest teachers of boxing. That was Georgie Bennett. He taught me a lot of things, and I learned a lot from a lot of different trainers in Philadelphia. So when I watch fighters, a lot of times I don't watch them. I watch the trainer, and I want to see what he's doing, see if he's doing correctly. And most of the time, believe it or not, these guys aren't doing it correctly at all. So it allows me to know that I know exactly what I'm doing, and that I got the right plan. And this fight has showed for me because everybody thought Chris was going to do something totally different. He stuck with it. He didn't get the decision, but he definitely increased his value in the loss, and Amir hurt himself a lot in the victory. So I watch the trainers nowadays, and a lot of these guys can't. They're good motivators, and they talk a lot of BS in the corners, but they're not teachers. They're not teachers of the game. They sound good.
I say that,
but they don't teach of the game. Well, I live in Florida, I was born in Denver, Colorado, but I was raised in Seattle, Washington.
Okay.
So a lot of great amateur guys came from that area. And then once they left, they went to Philadelphia. So I said, hey, I'm going to Philadelphia too. So I could learn the game better. And that was in Seattle and then Philadelphia.
Yeah, it does make a difference when you're a professional fighter too, and you become a coach. You just, from the experience of being in there, I learned because I'm from Ohio, and my coaches, some of them weren't pros, but they were very good amateurs, and they were old school, and they just knew what to do.
Here's the problem with that. Here's what I tell people. See, nowadays, these young kids, say you do some decent mid work. Nothing. I'm not teaching them, but it looks great. It looks great. Like the Mayweather thing they do.
Yeah.
A young fighter, they would rather have a young guy do that than have an old guy with knowledge show him how to fight. He said, man, I want this guy because he's doing the mid work and it looks great.
Yeah.
But you're not teaching him how to fight. Now, this old guy who knows the game, you don't want to listen to him. Even though he's going to show you the right things to do, you don't want to hear him. You want to see this young guy because you look good and it's flashy. And that's half the problem with boxing today. The guys that deserve, that need to teach you, you push them in the background. And get these young cats that don't know what they're doing, but they look flashy with the mitts. So, you don't learn anything.
Never boxed before, and they never took a punch, but they're going to try to tell you what to do.
Exactly.
Foolishness.
Exactly.
Man, thank you, man. I
No,
appreciate
no.
it.
Thank you.